Let's have a look. So it is Gordon Sheddon, Andy Jordan and Steve Soper. It's the grey cars that go better from the outside of the front row. Lots overtaking some out really wide. But it looks like it is the car of Andrew Jordan who leads, with trying to sweep round the outside. Steve Soper in the car with the orange flashes. That's a grey car as well, but it's got an orange giveaway grille and window flash. Sheddon is in third, but it's Andy Jordan who leads the way, Goodwood's chief test driver.
And I tell you what, at this early stage in the race, the driver making huge gains from 13th place. Oliver Gavin up into about 6th place, but as you said, it was the grey cars from the front row, Jordan and Soper. Little cars, shopping cars if you will, but real red meat racers, all these touring cars, drivers who've had decades of experience of chipping away at each other. If you're looking for the orange grille of Steve Soper, he'll be wanting to work his way to the front. He's trying to go around the outside at St Mary's in number 59. It's not quite going to happen. He's having a look up the inside. The second part of St Mary's gets very sideways indeed. Can he hold it? It's snap left, it's snap right. He'll go back into third position. Great save. So Andrew Jordan escapes, and poleman Gordon Sheddon back into the second place in the white number 4.
That was a big catch for Steve Soper there. I can see that the 175 of Stippler is up about 10 places from the back as it goes past you, Bruce. And this is a fascinating race unfolding before our very eyes, and through they come onto the Lavant Straight for the first time, through the kink and down towards Woodcote Corner, that fabled backdrop of the Super Shell building.
When it's super close in the midfield, what we do not want though is Andrew Jordan to escape in the lead of the race. I'm sure Steve Soper is going to be closing in third, brewing that mistake at St Mary's, but poleman Gordon Sheddon taking a look at number 6, trying to gain positions hand over fist. It's Matt Neal. He likes racing up close. He's been doing it for 20 years. He's in number 6, and the fast starting Oliver Gavin, the purple racer, up from 13th into 5th place.
Yes, he's trying to bridge the gap onto the breakaway. This is the peloton coming through behind the 4 leaders, and as they come through for the first time, the first 4 are up the road. Jordan 77, Sheddon 4, 59 Soper, 27 Mark Blundell, then the gap back to 15 Gavin, and 6 Neal with Manassian, Tordoff, Ingram. Where is that 175 car? You can see it coming up to the line now.
On the left-hand side of the screen, yes, by the pit wall, gaining position. Oh, when you hear a ooh, that means someone has probably gone off at Madgwick. Just nearest the camera, but there is Frank Stippler, 175, picking his way up 19th, the order.
19th Stippler.
Was it Tordoff? I think it may have been Tordoff that went off at Madgwick.
We're just having a look across, and the lead 4 has spread out a bit, and then there should be a gap back to the Corvette racer extraordinaire Oliver Gavin in the purple car. First 4 actually quite spread out. Certainly in second place is still the blue number 4, but race leader still Andrew Jordan. Steve Soper closing again, much better line this time around, and Mark Blundell is in 4th position. Then a big gap. Oh, it was that battle for 5th place, and Tordoff has gone missing, and Oliver Gavin is in 5th. Thank you very much, Toby Moody, for great finger work up in the commentary box there. And Frank Stippler, by the way, going around the outside, he's picking them off 2 and 3 at a time. He'll come eventually into your shot. He's gone so wide, the camera couldn't even pick him up at St Mary's. 92, though, going very well indeed at the front end, but the very front end, Andrew Jordan.
Yes, it is. Jordan in the 77 car, the car owned by Neil Brown, the engine guru. We're following a battle here, but this is the lead battle, and 77 still leads, but 4 Sheddon under pressure from Soper and Blundell. These 4 dancing through the second apex of Woodcote Corner.
It's a 20-minute race, Marcus. I just picked up on 92 because that's Rob Huff, who started down in 28th position. He's up to 11th, and he is ahead of Stippler as they come up through the order. Think about them in the future. And of course, now the windscreens are really starting to need a bit of a scrub.
And Darren Turner in number 7 was up to 17th as well from the back, so the pink car. So a few people making progress there.
Keep a look at the windscreen of number 4 in second place. Gordon Sheddon sitting low. Maybe that's to get better purchase on the rag he's using to clean the inside of the screen. He's second.
Got a yellow duster.
He's a rubbin.
Absolutely.
Rubbin is racing.
Indeed. This is absolutely brilliant. And it's Jordan Sheddon, the fastest lap of the race. A 1:59.662. Yesterday, 1:43.2 in qualifying was the pole time. So they're already lapping within 16 seconds, which is pretty impressive around 2.4 miles. We're riding now with...
with our race leader Andrew Jordan coming into St Mary's first part. Sounds like a bag of bolts is rattling around inside the car.
Sounds gruesome, doesn't it? It's the third engine of the weekend in that car, Mike.
Well, he knew that. He's having to nurse it. Now we're having place changing in the battle for 5th place. Some distance further behind. Now in the middle, it looks like number 6 has come up to the front of that. No, it's 0-5. And a big twitch and getting it wrong and drifting out wide there. The turquoise car of Tom Ingram.
I noticed Rob Huff was up to 7th across the line last time round and right up behind Ingram. So was he still close to him with you, Bruce?
Well, I was so busy looking at number 5, getting it very wrong in front of me. They were just the next 2 cars down the line, but so they could have picked up another place. But now look, Steve Soper on screen, the orange grille on the number 59, chasing so hard on Gordon Sheddon, trying to catch him in the moment that that Sheddon's rubbing the screen to keep it clear. But look at the speed Soper had. Couldn't. That time, he didn't go for the brave move. Plenty of race left. He had a look down the inside, but he's just got to pick his moment. These cars so equal, and none of them have any power to spare. And as David Coulthard said, they feel as slow as can be until you get to that point there. But not that point. As you approach Woodcote, you realise you've got to scrub quite a lot of speed off.
Watch for 28, Tom Christensen, yesterday's Kinrara Trophy winner in the Ferrari. He's in the car 28, and he is up into 9th place. So Tom Christensen on the move, the Great Dane. Ollie Gavin in the middle of that in the purple car, the 15, in the middle of that view. And 92 right behind him, which is Rob Huff.
Picking off another position.
He is. Jordan, 77. Sheddon in 4. Soper in 59. Blundell in 27. That's the lead batch. Then we get to this quartet, isn't it? And that's Ingram, Morgan, Huff and Gavin.
I bet these drivers, none of these dyed-in-the-wool British touring car racers and sports car racers ever had this on their bucket list, but they're loving it and they can't stop themselves from taking it seriously. Anything they can do to set up these cars. But I think the most remarkable run at the moment is Andrew Jordan. Must be worrying. That car sounded like a bag of bolts. He's still leading the way. 3 engines down. He's only got to the first of 2 races for St Mary's. I'll hand over to Father Mike tomorrow. He's being kept very honest indeed by Gordon Sheddon.
Tordoff is recovering. He's back up into 10th place in car 32, the BTCC leader for this season.
Yes, he just repassed Tiffany Dell, who has Frank Stipler closing in.
David Coulthard in number 25. He's running around in 15th place, so he's gained 5 positions. 2 were given to him, of course, the 2 cars not starting near the front, Anthony Reid and Sir Chris Hoy. But all along, let's look out of my commentary box window. I can't see if David's smiling, but I sort of sense he is. No, he's not, in fact. He's concentrating, steely stare.
He's grimacing.
How did it go so wrong, David? Working away very hard.
I think they have nicer upholstery now than they did then.
Slightly less oily rag.
He's pointing straight some of the time.
I do still feel they'd be more realistic if you had a couple of children sliding around on the back seat.
Yes, there was a French Caterham Championship once where they had journalists strapped into the passenger seat for one race. I didn't really want to sign up for that.
No, journalists come in all shapes and sizes. You'd feel you got the lottery wrong if you had a 20-stoner approaching your car.
Jordan, Sheddon and Soper, as it was before. Those 3 just easing away.
Sheddon's looking, Marcus Sheddon's looking much more composed, the handling of his car as he went into Magic that time, and now change of position in that battle behind number 32, Sam Tordoff. You said he's making up ground.
Yeah,
yes,
great exit from the chicane helped him there dramatically.
Rob Huff has come in, that's a shame. I was looking out to see where he'd risen to, but the pits is where he's
well, we know he got to 6th at the start of the previous lap. Frank Stipler still on the charge at 175. He's just got past number 43, so he's gaining position after position after position. He's up to 10th. 43 is being driven by Nick Minassian, and don't forget Nick started on the 2nd row, so it shows how the order has changed. Up front though, it's still Andrew Jordan going out wide at St Mary's, and this time at least Gordon Sheddon doesn't have to worry so much about the chase from behind from Steve Soper, and in turn Mark Blundell has dropped away. That lead battle is no longer 4 cars, it's down to 3. Blundell dropping off the tail of that grouping.
Yeah, looking forward to picking up the leaders again. That's 155 there.
That's Tiffany Dell.
Yep, shown as 55 on our timing screens, but 155. Hey, Tiffany Dell.
Yes, any car that you see with a number that goes 155, 175, in the programmes they should be 75 and 55.
Man with rag.
I think Sheddon could be a good window cleaner if he ever decides to give up motor racing. He's doing a good job down there. He's still hanging on to Andrew Jordan, but can't at the moment find a way to. Very quick down the back straight, that number 4 car, which I guess you would expect given it's Neil Brown car.
Yes, worth pointing out, if you just take a look at these races, St Mary's Trophy always run as a two-part race. We have today the gun drivers, the quicker drivers, the pro drivers, if you will. Many of them at the front, from the front end of the British Touring Car Championship over the past 20 years. They're out to play, and the owners will take the same length race, a 20-lap race tomorrow, sorry, 20-minute race tomorrow, results on aggregate. But look now, Sheddon has cleaned the screen so clean that he's got a clear line of sight as they go down to Madrick. Up the inside he goes. No, he doesn't. These are touring car races.
Yeah, AJ was never going to let that be that easy. Gets a little bit sideways, but Gordon is now looking really menacing, isn't he, in that second place?
He certainly is, and he was right in the toe going past the pits that time. He's certainly signalling his intent. Morgan and Gavin, Ingram, Morgan, Gavin and Tordoff are the chasers, with Christensen next up and Neal. Liddell's sort of dropping us a little bit. 24.
Stippler has now got past Tom Christensen, so he's up to 9th. So from the back,
yeah,
pretty good effort.
Stippler's gone really well in the red car, and a big slide.
Well, this is St Mary's having a look up the inside. There's a door, there's a closed door. Again and again, Andrew Jordan shows why he's such a successful British touring car racer, but Gordon Sheddon is looking left, looking right, and Toby Moody agrees with me. He just seems to have better handling in his car, or maybe he just applies the power at a more suitable moment, and all along he seems to get the power down better out of the corners. But Andrew Jordan, very wise, and hanging on behind Steve Soper.
Soper's made some progress, hasn't he? Soper's done the best first section of anybody, and he's getting closer to those lead pairs. We could have 3 for the lead within the next lap or so, because Steve Soper is mastering these conditions. Up alongside, though, comes number 4, Gordon Sheddon on the outside. They're virtually door handle to door handle coming down into Woodcote Corner. And is 4 going to go ahead on the outside, or is 77 Jordan going to hang on down the inside? Well, this is the braking area, folks, and they get somehow back into line of stern. Up the curve on the inside goes 4, which was Gordon Sheddon. That threw him out wide, kept the revs up, that's for sure.
Yeah, but
very spectacular.
Don't forget, Marcus, of course, Andrew Jordan used to compete in rallycross. He's a former rallycross driver. He's not scared of going sideways. I think the people in the grandstands are probably quite scared down at Woodcote there, but he held it beautifully, and it's situation as it was before, with another dollop of entertainment applied.
Yes, and Doug Nye has pointed out that the puddle after the chicane is getting deeper, which suggests it's perhaps getting a bit wetter. The lap times are second half 2 seconds off, and Andrew Jordan has to work harder and harder to keep Gordon Sheddon behind. And of course, if they fight each other too hard, that's going to let Steve Soper. Steve Soper still there? Might give him an opportunity to get back on terms.
Yeah, they've broken away, haven't they, from Mark Blundell, who doesn't race terribly often. Ingram, Morgan, Gavin, Tordoff, Stippler and Christensen. There's a pair.
Now, you need, Marcus, you need eagle eyes, and Toby Moody spotted that Andrew Jordan, as he passed the pits last time around, was pointing, indicating to the crew on the wall, pointing to the bonnet. Don't forget, this has had many engine changes. A bit of a lunge at St Mary's from Sheddon behind, so maybe this third engine isn't running as sweetly as it can, but anyhow, it's looking pretty good at the moment. They're lapping just over the 2-minute mark, and he's still leading the race. 77, Andrew Jordan, leading from number 4, Gordon Sheddon, and Steve Soper, as they tussle ahead of him, seems able to just catch up in number 59, getting closer again, but I think that's only because the first 2 are delaying themselves.
Oh, Jordan sideways coming onto lap straight there, and now Gordon Sheddon is right up behind him, and I reckon he might have a look as they head down towards Woodcote. And he goes to pull alongside. He's going to try and go around the outside again, is he? Now, can Andrew Jordan hold him off on the brakes again, or is he going to get the job done this time? Side by side as they come down to Woodcote.
It's not going to happen.
He's not. Andrew Jordan absolutely determined to keep his touring car rival at bay. And he's sideways again.
But again, excellent exit speed from 4, which is Gordon Sheddon. Right up onto the back bumper.
I think Sheddon looks quicker at the moment, doesn't he? But he, at the moment, can't find a way through.
Yeah, the lap times are so similar. And again, that rag given a bit of duty from Gordon Sheddon.
And Steve Soper in behind just doesn't seem to have the legs. These 2 are definitely delaying themselves slightly, particularly with the sideways antics. Well, that's a bit more rubbing his racing, I would have said there. The little A35, so entertaining. Only 5 and a bit minutes remaining, but Andrew Jordan, can he hang on in the front? Gordon Sheddon is pushing so hard, seems to have better level of grip. There's a question mark over the third engine, the second replacement. Oh, we've got someone off the grass and over at St Mary's, bouncing over the turf and about to rejoin. It's number 1, which makes it Amanda Stretton.
I think Soper's in just the right range away to be able to avoid whatever chaos may kick off in front of him. With 5 minutes to go of this race, and Gordon Sheddon's still really pressing Andrew Jordan as they come down towards you, Bruce.
Well, I was going to say, sweep the cameras away from Amanda Stretton as she recovers, because the battle for the lead
quite
is
soon,
close. Yes, they will indeed, by the time they get probably towards the end of the lap at this rate. But I think she's just far enough clear not to affect them as they go into the chicane. I could be eating my words shortly, but right now, Gordon Sheddon is keeping Andrew Jordan so on. It's 0.239 of a second on the start-finish line. It might have gone out to 0.4. A huge lead for Andrew Jordan, but this can go forwards and backwards, and it does. And again, at the second part of Lavant, the better exit speed for Gordon Sheddon. Getting closer and closer and closer comes Flash Gordon, but Andrew Jordan keeping it at the front.
Oh, it's incredible, isn't it? And they're again together at the kink. This time, number 4, Gordon Sheddon, makes his move a little bit earlier. It's still about a bumper in it between the two of them. The grey car hugging the inside of the track. The white car perhaps a little quicker in a straight line on the outside, but finds his path into the apex blocked by the 77, assiduously placed by our leader, which is Andy Jordan. Very, very skillful work by both of these two guys. And behind them, Steve Soper with the grandstand view of the whole thing as it unfolds.
But what Sheddon knows, every lap you cannot afford to go out wide at when you get down to Woodcote. Then you'll be over the curbs, over the tarmac, and possibly into the tyre wall on the outside. Still almost at the risk of getting RSI from cleaning that screen so many times. Gordon Sheddon is pushing super hard.
He's quicker at Woodcote, out of Woodcote, isn't he? So if he can just get Andrew Jordan out of position there, he might have a chance to have a run on into the chicane. But yeah, but he's only already today. That's quite tricky.
Kevin, he's only got 2 more laps to do it. This time he hasn't got it out of Madgwick, and this is where so many times he's had a better exit. He's had a little look at Ford Water. He's got to get in the slipstream again. Of course, he's a quite sit up and beg cars. Oh, David Coulthard has had a moment. He's recovering to the circuit, so he's down in 16th, lost a couple of positions. He's not swearing to camera. That's good.
Yeah, he's got a technical problem, I think.
More horses have escaped, possibly.
Yeah, they've gone to another paddock. I think we can say, right, Amanda Stretton leaving St Mary's, second part of St Mary's, running wide in the lead of the race is Andrew Jordan. Better exit speeds, they go down into dip. The cream-coloured number 4 with Gordon Sheddon at the wheel, and the driver who's got to look at it all race, Steve Soper, still sitting, watching this lead battle. He may get a chance to pounce, but we're running out of minutes. 2 minutes 44 until the checkered flag comes out. We've got this lap and the next one to complete.
Yeah, both the leaders in the A30s with have smaller rear windows now. The A35 that's chasing has a wider window, and the A30s with less rearward vision. They don't need to be watching behind them, but coming up there with its lights ablaze in 3rd place is 59, which is Steve Soper. And it's pretty much equidistant, 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 now, which is interesting.
Well, this was the wrong lap for Gordon Sheddon to lose a bit of ground. I don't think he could blame Amanda Stretton. She was fully out of the way. And now as they come down to Woodcote, he closes right in again. Don't forget the last couple of laps, he's had to lift off. He's had a look at the outside. The only option shown to him by Andrew Jordan. But Andrew knows what he's doing. 2 minutes until the checkered flag comes out, and they're lapping at just over 2 minutes. This will be going on to the final lap of the race, the first part of the St Mary's Trophy race. It's been great so far, and it's far from over.
Yep, this time Soper pretty much with them as they go on to the final lap, working their way up towards Madgwick Corner, that very difficult rising double apex right-hander as they come out. And you can see the lights of the 3rd place car. It's not as quick in a straight line, but the looks of things just dropping back just a little bit. In 4th place still is Blundell, and then it's 5, which is Tom Ingram. But we need to see the leaders really to see how this unfolds on the last lap. Here we go. It's still 77 from 4. Jordan from Sheddon. Sheddon pops out of the slipstream, has a quick look, but you don't want to be leading necessarily onto the Lavant straight.
Where do you want to carry your momentum? You want to carry it through Ford Water. That's precisely what Gordon Sheddon is doing. But Andrew Jordan is wise beyond his years. He didn't become British Touring Car Champion by leaving the door open. He's not leaving the door open into the first part of St Mary's. Where does he need to be? Exactly where he is on the right-hand side, but then just casually drift across the track as you can. And that stops the progress of Gordon Sheddon. But Sheddon, a far better line out of St Mary's. Are they going to touch as they go into the dip? Somehow Jordan got his car back across the track, and just in front of Sheddon. Sheddon is going to be cursing into his helmet. He's got to look left, he's got to look right, he's got to find a surprise move on Andrew Jordan. This is the final lap.
He's trying for a later apex as the leader goes sideways. See if he can carry more speed through the second apex and get faster onto the Lavant straight. He's done that. He's now right up. This is the crucial
Which side do you go? Which side do you go?
Sheddon. and they virtually, did they touch there?
It looked like they did.
It did look like it, didn't it? And this time much earlier, but again on the inside, hugging the position to grab the apex. It's the 77. This Shedd's going to pull something out of the bag, the braking. It's a Woodcote corner.
Watch out for Soper, he's ready in case anything goes wrong here.
What a very, very fine defensive drive
Absolutely.
from Andrew Jordan. He did everything that was required of him. There are no pieces for Steve Soper to pick up. They might have been offered to him. And again, Gordon Sheddon closes in, but it's job done unless he falls into the lake, hits the gondola or whatever is sitting in the puddle as they exit past the puddle, past the pits that Troy Corser went for a swim in, and victory in the opening, the first part of the St Mary's Trophy. But by how much? 0.1 of a second, perhaps. Andrew Jordan takes victory. Wow. Back.
Well,
How did he miss
the Ferrari?
Miss the Ferrari. That was a heart-in-mouth moment, not just for Richard Mines, but also for Joe Bamford as he saw it getting closer and closer.